All right, Dragon Lady 24 asks Papa Swolio, how do I gains the booty? Hmm. How do I gains the booty? I like that. How do we gains the booty without getting giant legs? You train your glutes more. You do more hip extension movements rather than doing tons and tons of squats. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want, you'll get a butt. You'll get a butt. Just do more isolation, or it's not really isolation. You know, when you're working your hips, when you're doing hip thrusts, when you're doing, whether it's barbell, hip bridges and hip thrusts and things of that sort, kettlebell swings, it's great. You're not going to get the same type of range of motion for the quads. It's not as quad dominant. It's more hip hinge, is more posterior chain. What's wrong with, yeah, you're, most women aren't going to get massive, like huge fucking legs. It takes a lot to get a women. It takes a lot to get a women to build muscle. It takes a lot for women to build muscle. It takes a long time. It's not easy. Now, where was I? What the fuck is going on here? So, like things like hip bridges, kettlebell swings, you're not going to get massive quads from that, but you definitely want to do those. I would just throw in some more hip bridge exercises, things that take the quads more out of the equation. You're not going to get giant legs, Romanian deadlifts, hip bridges, kettlebell swings. Definitely do your squats, but when you do your squats, you don't have to do powerlifting. You don't have to do 3 rep max. You can do sets of 20 to fucking failure. You'll be blitzed, especially if you're not doing a crazy caloric surplus. You're not going to have the actual calories and the protein and to build massive legs. And you also don't have the testosterone. And it would take so long. And it takes such, and I'm not trying to downplay. There are women that are fucking animals, but you ladies know what I'm talking about. How hard you have to train because you're not pumping out testosterone like guys are. You're not building muscle at the same rate and to the same volume. And I'm not saying you can't be that disciplined and I'm not saying that a woman can't train that hard, but you're talking about literally going all fucking in. That's like your obsession. You're not going to go casually and just get huge fucking legs unless there's a lot of fat on top of it. So you're talking about top tier results, which is certainly possible, but it takes that same type of discipline. So the input has to match that. And if you're not really training at that level and it's not that much of a focal point of your life, which, as long as you're getting all your 7 pillars, you don't have to be like a fucking professional athlete, but you have to be realistic with how much effort you're putting in. So just some thoughts on that. Hopefully that answered the question. What's wrong with giant legs? I see that. Anna L, why do people think they will get huge? It's not easy to bulk like that because you go on social media and what do you see? You see everyone that's huge. You see everyone that's big. You always see the outliers. Why? Because they go viral, because it's an unusual story. Oh, the person that lost 200 pounds in 5 days. How the fuck did he do it? Well, they sucked it out with a tube, but oh my God, was it fast? So people always see the results. You don't see the hard work. You only see the end point. You only see you see the finished product, right? So you don't see the effort. People see me now like, how long did it take you to get like that? My entire life. Like, what the fuck is it? What kind of a question is that? How long did it take you to get that big? My entire life. Was I always trying to bulk? No, but everything in my entire life led me here. So there's your answer. And people ask these questions. And people ask those questions as if the longer the time you've been lifting, the bigger you're going to be. And that's not how it works. You go through these different phases unless you're constantly trying to bulk endlessly. So your body size and how much muscle you have is completely irrelevant. Honestly, it's completely irrelevant to how long you've been lifting because you have to, if you want to be as big as you could possibly be, then you have to have this constant drive to be as big and as lean or whatever as you can possibly be. And that's absolutely exhausting unless it's your profession, unless you're a professional bodybuilder or that kind of, you do competitions, then yeah, you have goals like that. But that's exhausting. And most people go through phases where they bulk for a while and they kind of like back off. And it depends. I mean, I definitely did like to get as big as I possibly could for so long. I did that for so long. I still train with that mindset, but I definitely don't do the same volume always. I go through phases, but I take more of a longevity approach. And I found that how I feel since I've changed up my training, my joints, my body just feels so much better than I ever have in my life that I'm very hesitant to go back or to adjust or to, to leave the patterns that I've and the new habits that I've built in terms of that. So, it all depends on what you want to get out of it. Good point. Good question. Good statement, I should say.